participating in clinics on clinical.
Something's good, right?
That's just-
It's perfect. See, it's on the atomic clock, so it's exact.
Right.
I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, I get approval of the agenda.
Approve the agenda for June 10th, 2024, as presented.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any nays? Motion carried. Okay, approval of the consent agenda.
I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda, to approve the regular township board meeting minutes dated May 13th, 2024. Accept the treasurer's report of consent, accept the assessor's report for June 2024. Approve May 2024 bills, transfer of funds. And then Metamora Township, May 2024 bills and payroll include check number 30234 through 30283, which includes the township bills, township and fire employees, township, fire employees, electronic payrolls, and the building department, which also includes building bills, building payroll, and building monthly remittance checks. Total amount of the township and building payrolls and bills for May 2024 is $209,296.71.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any nays? All right, motion carried. County reports, Mr. Hamilton.
Good evening. At our last meeting, pretty neat thing happened. General Squire Park, that is one of our county parks named after Major General George Squire, was inducted into the Air Force Cyberspace Operations and Support Hall of Fame on May 7th in Hampton, Virginia. Made many contributions to the development and technical revolutions of radio and airplanes. So it was a pretty neat presentation about him and some neat history there. I also passed the animal control ordinance, which has been worked on for the past year or so. And then that was passed on at our last meeting, and that will take effect on June 23rd. Gives the animal control some more leverage, and fines are a little bit stronger, so hopefully to take care of some of the issues we've been having around the county with nuisance animals and dangerous dogs going after some people, particularly in the North Branch area. So hopefully that'll help relieve that problem going forward. We also passed a resolution honoring Lori Evart. She has been the county register of deeds since 2017. And she started out with the county in 1980 as a clerk typist and served the county for 43 years. And we congratulated her on her retirement on June 1st. We also approved an RFP related to proposed replacements and upgrades of various HVAC equipment around the county and various buildings. We also approved buildings and grounds to proceed with the acceptance of a proposal from Creekwood Architecture for engineering services to expand the animal control building. They're trying to upgrade that building, add on to it, and one of the things that's part of that is having a sally port area, and that's where their vehicles can pull in with an animal and have it secured so it can't run off or potentially go after anybody that's in the building. Right now they have to bring animals in through the lobby, and it's just not a safe situation when there's people in there doing business. And so we've had some incidents there, so hopefully adding on to the building and putting a secure area in will take care of some of those issues, as well as give them some more space. That building is small and just wasn't designed to be an animal control facility. Also authorized buildings and grounds to proceed with a sign replacement of the Sheriff's Department using capital funds. authorized community mental health to purchase and install a new filtered water fountain at Harmony Hall. And this Thursday at our meeting, we're going to have our truth and taxation hearing for next fiscal period. Thank you. Appreciate your time, and I gotta run, so I gotta get to the township. Have a good evening, thank you.
All right, public time.
Good evening, Greg Wise, 1213 Kyle Road. I'm a candidate for County Commission District 6. I'd like to speak tonight a little bit about grants. 24 years as magistrate court administrator, we created 2 specialty courts, mental health court and then the drug court. Both of those were funded by grants from the state of Michigan, with lots of requirements on them in terms of reporting to them. And we always had to go in front of the Board of Commissioners, and they approved it every year. But last year in '23, the fire departments obtained a $58,000 grant from Homeland Securities to provide scene lighting. You know, when you go out at night to fight a fire, or in Michigan in December, anything after 5 o'clock in the afternoon, you need lights so you can see things. That grant, at the first committee of the whole meeting, failed to pass. There was one commissioner absent, so it was a 3-3 vote. Commissioner Hamilton voted no. Didn't want our fire departments to have that scene lighting. It came up in front of the committee of the whole a month later, now with all 7 commissioners there, and it passed 5-2. Mr. Hamilton changed his vote. He became a yes. But neither time did he make any contributions to the discussion over the motion. You know, the motion was made, it was seconded, they have discussions. He doesn't say a word. Until you vote, you have no idea what he's going to do. Well, then it came in front of the full board. And again, he votes no. No discussion, no explanation. I mean, our firefighters deserve the scene lighting. I mean, the chairman of the commission, he made comments. He said the townships have so much money, they can afford to buy the lighting themselves. They don't need a grant. I'll tell you what, grants are a way of life with government. We may not always like them, but it's how we get money back from the state for the taxes that we pay, and from the federal government, the taxes we pay to them. As a commissioner, number one, I'll be consistent. I won't be changing back and forth. And number 2, I will explain my decision. I'll add to the discussion when the motion is made and seconded. Go back, look, it's all on video on the county's YouTube page. He makes no comments at all. I thank you for letting me speak tonight. I also am going to try to make it a Fair Township Board meeting. I ask you for your vote in the August primary. Thank you very much.
It's Susan Huff, 5047 Floyd Road, Metamora. I wanted to read some definitions for you tonight. Roadside stand, a temporary or existing permanent structure containing not more than 200 square feet of enclosed floor area and operating for the purpose of selling agricultural, dairy, or poultry products raised or produced only by the proprietor of the stand or by his family. Then there is outdoor sales, and this is for the commercial business district. Outdoor sales by resident businesses may be permitted in the B1 and B2 districts subject to the following. Only sales by the resident business on site are permitted. Only those products customarily sold by the resident business may be sold outdoors. The outdoor sales display area may not occupy street right-of-way, required parking, blah, blah, blah. Resident businesses may conduct outdoor sales of products not customarily sold by the resident business without prior site plan approval for the 2 weeks prior to and including the following holidays or events: Metamora Days, Independence Day, Halloween, and Christmas. So why do we have these things in our zoning? Well, for orderly development, obviously, and to make sure property is being used in line with the intended purposes. But it's also there to protect the property owners and the taxpayers. Is it fair that Andy's spends a ton of money on renovations, has to have their signs approved, their site plans approved, their investment in their property, they're paying, I'm sure, quite a bit in property taxes, but then they get competition from somebody who sets up a temporary stand on property that I'm assuming they don't own, I don't know that for sure, could be leased, could be rented, but they don't have any of the costs or burdens. Greg's and the White Horse, should they be competing with food trucks that are not paying a fee to help cover some of the costs when you've got Greg's and White Horse paying taxes and having tons of overhead, but now they have competition from a food truck? Gas stations, letting retailers set up shop. They're not selling what sells inside the shop. It's not part of their site plan. It's making our general business district look like a flea market, to be honest with you. When we moved to Metamora from Metamora Township, we bought our property in '88. The Metamora Board was Harold Best and Wayne Nolan, and they had some new plans for Metamora. I hope that this board can bring us back from the 50s into the 21st century.
Ready? Here, Shaco, still Village of Metamora resident. I want to say first, I ended up on Brower Road this weekend. And those folks who came in and talked about Brower Road and the loose gravel and the water flow and everything, that's exactly what I saw this weekend. And I was honestly, because I have a small car, I don't have a big truck. And so I was honestly afraid if I had to go to the side of that road, I was going to get stuck. So what they said was exactly what I saw. So someone, it'd be great to look into that. The quality of the gravel in particular was what they mentioned. It was certainly very different than the other roads in the area. I want to say a sincere thank you to Chief Davis here for your efforts in the tamping down the lawlessness that goes on in the village sometimes. I've been hearing things about people only being pulled over, and I think there's still a long way to go, unfortunately, because that took a long time to build, but I do appreciate communicating with you about it and your efforts. And I'll keep sending you the monthly report that I give to the village just so you know what I'm turning in there. Last month I brought up the fire department, and we don't have annual inspections here. I talked to the new chief in Dryden about why that is and what they're going to be doing in Dryden, because they don't have someone trained there from their department to do it, and that's what he was explaining to me. That it costs a lot of money to train someone to do those things. But it sounds like they may be contracting in the village of Dryden with someone who's qualified to do that, and they could go through with a local person and do that. But I think it would be really great based on activities I have seen here in our township and in the village if we had a fire marshal and we had someone qualified to do inspections. I think we need to increase our safety, as I said. I think we owe people more than that. And I think we have enough money here to do that, to have that kind of safety that people deserve here. I also want to say that, Brady's not here to hear this, but when I go to Dryden, I hear more about training that Metamora does than I ever heard coming to one of these meetings. Sounded like all the fire departments got together at the DBRA like a month and a half ago or so and did a training. I would like to hear more of that here. I want to hear what our tax money is going to. I want to hear how folks are getting prepared. Now let's talk about the park down there. Dave Best, you're on the DDA. And I heard, they had their informational meeting on a Tuesday at noon, which I can't attend because I'm at work. But I did hear about your comments. I don't understand why being ADA compliant and caring about the people in our community who have disabilities and differences is not highest on the priority list. I think all parks should be made accessible for as many people as we can get in there. And value all the residents here. You know why I take this so personally? Because I know a lot of these folks. I've interacted with a lot of these folks, and I know the challenges they face, and I want them to be able to come to parks. And if you put a pavilion right next to the street, that's gonna rule out a whole bunch of people, including just my nephews who are typically developing neurotypical. So it's just not an appropriate spot. And I didn't know when I moved here that I was moving to such a poor area. I thought we had enough money to have some kind of decent things, but after almost 11 years, we still don't even have a sign out there. Thank you.
Anything else on public time? Fire department.
Yeah, kind of a busy month. We had 33 runs, 7 fires, 21 medicals, 5 PIs, 1 meeting, 1 training, and 2 work details. We have a new gentleman, Joseph Gildner. We would like permission to put him on.
I'll make a motion to hire Joseph Gilman.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any nays? Motion carried.
Thank you. We're very fortunate to have enough people to keep a pretty full roster right now. I know a lot of people are struggling with that.
All right.
We'd like to get permission to spend up to $1,000 on Milwaukee cordless power tools and seam lighting for 851. We're actually gonna have a whole covered, designated for, sawzall, cordless drills, chainsaw, impacts, things like that for rescue and anything else that we need. We're going to cordless just because the cordless stuff is just a thing of the past and the cordless tools are so good. I mean, if anybody's used Milwaukee stuff, it's just top-notch stuff.
I'll make a motion to approve the purchase of Milwaukee cordless power tools up to the amount of $1,000.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. We're purchasing a new intake valve for 821 and some spanner wrenches. The intake valve is $1,968.75, and the spanner wrenches are $182.39. We're not asking for permission because that's coming out of insurance money from the damage, so we just kind of keep everybody informed of what we're buying and we're spending. The update on the truck is it's still a couple weeks out. It's painted. They're waiting for some brackets and things like that. Once it gets back here, then it might, it's going to have to go over to by Lansing for a couple days to get the lights mounted and all fixed, and then we should be back to 100% on that. And that's all I have.
All right, thanks, Toby. Police department.
Good evening. For the month of May 2024, Metamora Township Police Department, we had a total of 280 calls for service. A lot of things traffic related. We had 140 traffic stops, 6 operating while intoxicated arrests, 10 property damage accidents or PDAs, 5 personal injury accidents, and 1 hit and run accident. We also had 9 traffic VOLs, which is quite a few for the month. A couple notable incidents. On May 3rd, Officer Roller was dispatched to the hit and run property damage accident on 2400 Mary Lou Lane. It was involving a Chevrolet Silverado and a Dodge Dakota. The Dodge Dakota was attempting to pass the Silverado on the right shoulder portion of the roadway and sideswiped it. They also took off from the scene, but they were able to get the license plate. And Officer Willard was able to locate the vehicle, actually on Newark Road near Wilder Road. The driver was issued an appearance citation for the 71A Court of Appeal for failing to report a property damage accident, which is a misdemeanor. Another incident we had on the 23rd, Officer Sutter was dispatched to an indecent exposure incident at Metamora Golf and Country Club. A resident reported male golfers on the course, urinating on the course. Contact was made with all individuals involved, and the complainant eventually wished for management to resolve the issue, which is what took place. A couple notes, just a reminder for the board, in case you guys get any calls or any of the residents here, that we have a safe medication disposal box in our lobby. Residents can dispose of prescription medication, Schedule 2 to Schedule 5, controlled substances and also non-controlled substances, over-the-counter medications. Some of the things that we don't accept are illegal drugs, lotions or liquids, peroxide, inhalers, needles, aerosol cans, thermometers, and like fentanyl patches. We don't take any of that stuff. Eventually, they all get turned over to the DEA and at their drug take back. just another quick note, after tomorrow, we don't have any, houses on our property inspection, list. It's that time of year where a lot of people are home, there'll be some traveling here and upcoming in the summer. We'll still do property inspections, and, people can come in 8 to 4 to, fill out the form, or they can, find it on the township website. That's basically all I have, unless you have anything for me.
Thanks. Township business. Clerk statement?
They call it that, it's the, our yearly, L4029 tax rate request. I received this from Kylie, our deputy assessor for our millage rates. There was a, I had the rollback, the small one, rollback issued by the county, actually, she says. So we did lose a couple hundred, thousand per department, like township, police, fire. So our millage rates for the winter 2024 are going to be, I'm sorry, fire is 0.8951, police is 2.0926, and the township is 1.3088. Once we get approval, I can sign this and send it off to them.
So it's the same or less?
It's less.
Great. Nobody complains about that, right? So do you need a motion to
Yes.
approve? I'll make a motion to approve the 2024 L4029 for the Metamora Township millage rates.
Support.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any nays? Motion carried. Anybody got any discussion?
Greg Wise and I went to ZBH in Frankenmuth. I think that was in May. That was in May, so we went to Frankenmuth and packed house of people from around the Thumb area, and interesting, an attorney put it on, and it was worth our time to go, so. Informative.
Good. I guess we just need another motion.
Motion to adjourn.
Is that you made the motion? Second.
All in favor?